Canada's largest grocery chain posted a quarterly profit of $508 million in its latest quarter. This comes at a time of continuing high inflation for the country and a lot of scrutiny over big grocery chain profits. Scott Peterson has been going over the results for us. Scott, we're all feeling the pinch at the grocery store. When you look at this report, what do you make of it?
We're seeing sales increasing in every division that's at Loblaw, and they own a lot of companies across the board, including Shoppers Drug Mart. They are Canada's #1 grocery chain, so there's been a lot of scrutiny on the money that big companies make, like Loblaw. So let's take a look at this, because Loblaw owns the Loblaw store, this Loblaw's group of company, No Frills, Shoppers Drug Mart, Provigo, Real Canadian Superstores, just to name a few. So here's some of the results, and this is from the quarterly profit report that came out after the bell yesterday. Quarterly profit, for example, as you mentioned, was $508 million. Loblaw's itself reported a 31% increase in its net income for the first 3 months. This takes us up until June 17th. Net earnings also up over 10%. Gross margin remains constant at about 31%, and Shoppers sales alone up 5.7%, and e-commerce also expanding against all divisions, extremely popular at 14%. And the inflation as a country, as we touched on here, has cooled a little bit, but food inflation remaining stubbornly high in the neighborhood of about 9.1%. And even this, it's garnered some federal interest at the Parliament, wanting to meet with the big grocery executives to say that what is excessive profit, what's reasonable profit in light of Canadians having to spend so much more this year over this time last year. And we're hearing multiple reports about people having to go more and more into debt every month to be able to afford it.
Just to pay for food. It's really something so many Canadians are talking about.
Sure is.
Tell me, Scott, south of the border, we also had an interest rate spike from the U.S. Federal Reserve yesterday, as expected.
Yeah.
How are the markets reacting?
The markets are shrugging this one off. They like the prospect that maybe, just maybe, this will be the last one for a while, and we'll see how it happens. We're also waiting for a European Central Bank report on inflation. They could hike rates there, and also GDP numbers out of the U.S. economy. Let's get right to it, because there's lots on the table this morning. We have the price of oil again up 70 cents a barrel. Western Canadian Select, this is a Canadian crude, is actually down $1 on Baton Rouge refinery that is out $63 there. Canadian dollar slightly positive against the U.S. dollar. Let's look at those markets again. They are looking like a positive day. This could be a 14th day of a positive streak for the Dow Jones, already on a 13-day streak. That's the longest run the Dow Jones has had, going back to 1987. So a bit of a record there.
Wow, quite the history there. Thank you so much, Scott.
Thanks.